My name is Perpetual.
And my name is Ruto.
And together we're from Love, Faith, and Passion. Well, today we're talking about an interesting topic.
Okay.
Situationships.
Do tell. Situationship.
So a situationship is a situation where a guy and a girl are not really in a relationship, but also they're not friends. So you kind of really like can't tell what you two are, but people kind of get the feeling that these two are the gist that you guys are together. So yeah, it's basically no commitment, no what, but you just string each other along like in a relationship. So yeah, many people find themselves in this situation for different reasons, but mostly for girls, it's when I believe that the guy is out of your league, then kind of gives you attention, and you're just hoping that one day he will see you for the beauty that you are. But honestly, I think that's one of the main reasons where you're like, okay, this guy is way out of my league. Even talking to me is surprising. So you kind of just hope
say, let's see where this goes.
Yeah, you hope that one day he'll come around and say, look, I want something, let's define this thing now. But most times it never happens.
Yeah, and that's actually very interesting, because I think a lot of damage actually takes place to someone when they're in a situation, in the sense that they spend a lot of time, even after the situationship, trying to recover. Because you can imagine the amount of time that you would have invested. So you are sort of like doing the things that you would normally do in a relationship, but you are not in a relationship. So you can only imagine what it does to you, an individual emotionally. It really does. And yeah.
And I think that, you know what, I believe that most of the times when you're in this space where you're desperate, you're like, this guy is way out of my league, and you start pushing yourself to do certain things that you shouldn't even be doing. You get yourself entangled in a fantasy. Now when that thing doesn't come to pass, that's when you have things like low self-esteem. You start to think, what was I thinking? I was so foolish. I never really think about these things. But it's because really one of you didn't, which is the man really, because he's the one who's supposed to, you know, commit. Mostly ladies are set when they're coming to you, that's it, this is what I want. But now for the guy, if he can't do that and you keep holding on with the hope that one day, just one day, it means that there's a deeper issue that's really the issue. Not that he's out of your league or anything. I don't think that anybody's out of anybody's league.
True.
So there's a deeper issue, which is really like self-worth. How do you see yourself? You know, so yeah, I think that when you find yourself in this place now, in a situationship where somebody is not willing to commit, I think the best thing is to just up and go.
Up and go. And I think I also wanted to look at the fact that with men, I think the way that women and men may view a situationship are different, in the sense that we are naturally different. The way God made us is different. And one of the differences is the fact that men find it easy to compartmentalize things. So it's easy for a man to say, okay, this is where something starts and this is where something ends. Whereas with women, the moment you start spending a lot of time with me, automatically your emotions will get involved, and before you know it, you are entangled in this space where you're saying that, but this feels a lot like a relationship. We're doing everything that people in a relationship would do. We're spending a lot of time together. He gives me a lot of attention, and before you know it, in your own view, you know, you have allowed yourself to get into that emotional space and invested so much emotionally. Whereas as men, we have the gift, if you can put it that way. It depends on how you look at it. Because I think that gift is also what enables men to be able to get things done. Where you look at an issue, men are very solution oriented. So where does that come from? From being able to compartmentalize things and look at things as for what they are and say, so this is the problem. How are we going to address it? What are the things that we're going to do? You know, so it comes in something that enables men to do what they do. But now, so when a woman understands this about a man, as you said, that it is a man's responsibility to commit, right? Or to take that step of defining the relationship. But guess what? I think that it is the woman's responsibility to place a demand on that responsibility from that man, where you actually let a guy know that, look, if you're going to be with me, if you're going to spend time with me, be responsible enough to define what this is from the get-go. Because I think that's where the main issue is with almost any relationship that you may look at, even in business. Can you imagine getting into a partnership with someone and the terms of that partnership are not defined? What would happen to that kind of relationship? So it's the same. The defining of relationships has to be right from the start. And even as it is the man's responsibility to take that step and define the relationship, okay, these are my intentions, this is what I would want to do, this is what God has placed on my heart, then a woman should be able to place that demand on the guy. Let us know right from the start what is happening. And maybe just to also add, you know, growing up, like when we were young, guys would actually know that, okay, that girl, don't even try. Don't even go there. Why? Because she's a no-nonsense girl. But not really that she was a no-nonsense girl, but I guess what they were failing to say is, if you're going to go there, make sure you know what you're going there to do, because she will place that demand to ask you that, so what's your story? What are you up to? Why are you texting me? Why? And so automatically, as you go there organized.
You know what? Because to be honest with you, if I'm to be very vulnerable, I never imagined that guys would have such conversations. Never. I never ever imagined that guys would sit and say, you know what, I thought that guys are these creatures that God made that can go anywhere and everywhere because they can.
No. Guys would actually discuss and say that, bro, you know, where a guy actually says, bro, you know what, I've been thinking about this girl. And the other guys would hint to them anything that they know about that girl. Bro, you know what, I heard about that girl. My guy, don't. Knowing you wouldn't manage. Especially where, you know, guys would know, even their friends, that you are not the kind of guy who commits. So they would actually tell you right from the get-go. And if the guy then goes ahead and does it, it's literally at his own risk. And guys will be like, okay, bro, but don't say I didn't tell you.
Okay. So, like, for a person who's in a situationship right now, like, what would you say as a man? Because I think the victims, I know that
most of the time,
I've known of cases where the guy is really in love with this girl, but this girl is just like, you know what, I just need to have fun. But it's very rare. So, from a man's point of view, what would you tell a girl who's just sitting hoping that one day this guy will come around?
I think it's very difficult for you to expect commitment from someone who is not interested enough to make the commitment. Because I think one of the special things, what makes relationships quite special, is that there are two people who have the same level of interest invested in this thing that they're about to embark on. And I think that's when what some people may say, you know, there's a spark or whatever. Usually that spark that people are talking about is just when two people meet and they both are as interested as the other person. So now can you imagine trying to get someone who's not interested to be interested in you? I think it's very difficult. So if the person was never interested enough in you to make that commitment from the get-go, but then decided to string you along, it says a lot. And now the truth is, it's very difficult for you to convince them otherwise through your actions. And now here's the other thing that I think sometimes women get wrong. They think that, no, as you were saying, that no, but maybe if I spend a little bit more time with him, maybe if I do certain things so that he sees my worth, chances are that will never happen. So I think if you're in a situationship, first of all, take a step back. Accept, you know, things for what they are, in the sense that you are in a situationship and not a relationship, because a relationship takes actual commitment. So
and knowing of direction from the get-go.
From the get-go. So accept where you are and take a step back. take a step back can literally mean being as drastic as, cutting off any sort of ties that are beyond what acquaintances should have. Because basically, if you're not really in a relationship and you are not necessarily friends, then you should be able to clearly define where you are and take that step back and say, okay, so let me deal with this person as I would any other guy, a guy that I know from work, a guy that I know in the neighborhood. Let me treat him. So that means that the level of communication has to be at that level, so that at the end of the day, you don't leave yourself vulnerable. But basically, what you have to do is, like you said, up and run, in the sense that the longer you stay in that situationship, the more entangled you will be, emotionally, and the more damage it will do, like you said, to your self-esteem, where you begin to ask yourself that, so what is it about me? What is it about me that makes this guy not want to commit? And yet it has absolutely nothing to do with you, because if someone is not interested in you, if someone is not interested in you enough to commit, it's not your fault, because it literally means that they're just not the one for you. As I think God is amazing in the sense that He has made someone for each and every single one of us.
And for me, I think that one of the things that may cause people to settle in situationships is actually not knowing how to deal with loneliness. I've come to learn that moments where you feel like you are isolated, like there's nobody for you, are moments where God can really minister to you, like at a really, really deep level. I remember a time in my life where I was feeling like, you know what, everybody has a boyfriend, and I think I just turned 21 that time. Like, I lived in a room on campus where everybody in that room had a serious boyfriend, and I was the only one who was not. And they would make fun of me, and they started putting pressure on me. I was like, so clearly nobody can really see, and I started to feel like I need somebody of my own. But you see, nobody should make you. Nobody should make you happy. Nobody should make you complete. I know it's a cute thing to say, you make me complete, but it's an unhealthy thing to have to live with, and to depend on somebody. So you need to learn how to spend time with yourself. Like, be okay with being alone. I know that it's hard, especially towards Valentine's and stuff. It's really hard when everybody is getting gifts, but you need to be okay being alone. Because if you're okay being alone, you'll be able to say no to counterfeit relationships. You'll be able to say,
this doesn't look right.
This doesn't look right, you know. But if all you want is somebody, surely anybody will go. So learning to spend time with yourself, and that's a place of discovering yourself in God. Find activities to do. Join a community of things that, like, if you are an arts person, join an arts community where you can get inspiration. Read the word, spend some time in prayer. Just learn how to enjoy your own presence and space.
And there's so much that you can do to actually discover yourself. And some of the things that sometimes, some of the challenges that people have in relationships is because they don't even know themselves. So it's very difficult for you to actually have something meaningful with someone, because as the Bible actually tells us that love your neighbor as you love yourself. So it is from a place of loving yourself that you're actually able to extend that love. So if you don't know what it's like to have fun with yourself, to tantalize your own taste buds, your own fancies in a very healthy way, it'll be very easy for you to then depend on someone else to do so. And I think the other thing that I wanted to add is the fact that the honest truth is that I've never really heard of anything good that comes from a situationship. I know people may want to, sugarcoat things. People would want to say, oh, no, just stay, maybe. But I have actually never heard of a guy who said that, look, I was in a situationship with this girl for a long time. Then all of a sudden I woke up and I just decided that, this girl, you know what usually happens? You'll be in a situationship with this person, especially speaking from a guy's perspective. You'll be in a situationship with this guy for a very long time. It will just take one day for him to find a girl that he's interested enough to commit to. He will commit to that girl, and you'll be left in the dark, and you'll be shocked.
Yeah.
Like, but I thought. But look, if it was not defined, it would be very unwise for you to remain in that place, you know, even if it's termed a situationship.
Yeah. Wow, there's been so much said, but let them with ears hear.
Yeah, it's true. And so please let us know what your thoughts are, what your experiences are. Share with us your comments. Remember to also share the video, because there might be someone who needs to hear this, because really hear what we're talking about. I know it might sound, I don't know, cliche or cute, or I don't know how you would term it, but we're really talking about preserving destinies. Look, we
I honestly
know,
wish somebody had told me.
And you know, we actually know of people who were strung on for years. We know of people who were strung on for years, and now they are left with nothing, and they are now struggling to just heal from all that. And so we're literally speaking about preserving destinies, preserving your purpose, and preserving you as an individual.
So thank you so much for
Thank you for watching.
Subscribe if you haven't subscribed.
Please do.
Like, share, comment, and you know, let us know some issues that you'd like to talk about. Maybe you can ask at church, but you know, we can table things out here.
Yes, we can.
So God bless you.
Thank you so much for watching.